It does get sticky, but don't worry about that. It dries off. That's why I keep one hand sort of slightly dry. I'm not going to lie to each other, I'm having an absolute mare here. But it just goes to show you, us teachers can get it wrong. Right. I'll have them out on the cooling rack here, okay. I even attempted to make a little gingerbread man, and if you listen to it, it's nice and hollow, so it's cooked on the inside. I say gingerbread man, it looks more like a star. Looks like Patrick from a Brogan. Well, there goes that. Alright, Wood Haze, especially to those year 4 children that are isolating. Right, a little bit of a treat for you now. We're going to make some scones. And boy, do we all need a little treat right now. It's a great recipe, it's straightforward. Baking is one of the things that I was absolutely terrible at, and then over lockdown I got a little bit better at it. Now, what it's really good for, it's good for measuring, it's good for practicing skills like kneading, and for rubbing together, especially with the butter and with the flour. And it's a really good recipe to get your timings right and to get skills like weighing and things like that there. So we're going to have a little go. Pause this video anytime you need to have a go at home, and hopefully you'll make some delicious scones, not only for you, but for your family to enjoy. And then you can argue all day long about what comes first, the clotted cream. One of the skills that you're going to be doing, children, are we're going to be weighing. We're going to be actually practicing some kneading, just gentle kneading. We don't want to, bash it too hard. We're going to be practicing the rubbing skills, which is really therapeutic. Whenever I was doing it in lockdown, it was lovely. So we're going to be using this motion. So basically, you're going to put your thumb and your fingers together, and we're going to be pushing that the butter through the flour to make it a nice breadcrumb texture. You're going to be learning a little bit about cutting, preparing, putting things into the oven, and learning about timing. So it's a great little recipe. It's quite straightforward and simple, to be fair. There's a little added things that I'm going to put in that you can choose not to put in, but basically have a go. And I would love to see some of your videos or pictures of you doing this at home. You don't necessarily have to do it today on Friday, but you can do it hopefully over the weekend or over the rest of the week, and then I'll be dropping another video at some point later on next week. So let's get ourselves all ready to cook. Make sure we get our hands washed, we remove any jewellery that we're going to need, make sure we've got our sleeves rolled up if we have, make sure you've got an apron on if you have that at home. I've left mine in Scotch. And any hair is tied back out of your way, and then we'll get ready to cook. Okay, so I've got my ovens over there. I've got my oven on to 220 degrees C, or it's gas smoke 7. And we're going to get ready to start to do the first stage of the actual of the baking. Now, one of the things that some people might say is, sir, why are we having self-raising flour over normal flour? Okay, well, self-raising flour, this stuff here, or any reputable supermarket will do. I'll just go up. It has monocalcium phosphate, and it's part of its ingredients, and sodium, hydrogen carbonate, which is pretty much similar properties to baking powder. And what that essentially does is, children, it allows, whenever we mix it all together with the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients, what it allows it to do is it allows it to rise, because we want our scones to be really fluffy and to rise, okay? Because nobody likes a flat scone or scone. So that's the reason why we're doing that. Now, if you have got ordinary flour and you do a bicarbonate at home, it can work as well, okay? But it's just the self-raising flour just gives it a little bit of oomph, okay? So we're going to get started with our mixing of our dry ingredients. So now what you need to do is you're getting into the measuring side of things. So what you're going to do is you're going to weigh out 225 grams of flour, okay, and put it into a bowl. So if we just get that a little bit closer, light shotgun. Okay, so you've got that, so that's 225 grams of flour, and then you've got your 55 grams of butter, which I've already weighed out, and you'll probably get it depending on where you cut it. So I just tend to just sort of put it into small little cubes, because it's easier to rub into the flour. So get that chopped up. So what you could do, I suppose, is show off to your parents and show them how to do the bridge grip, to chop it up into fine little cubes, okay? So you could use the bridge grip and just cut the butter up like that, so holding the butter either side and cutting it down the middle. Okay, but just for speed, I'm just going to chop the butter up and put it in. Okay, so once you put the butter in, so that's 55 grams you'd weigh out of butter. You've done your 225 grams of flour, separated flour. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I've weighed out my sugar. I think it was 26 grams or 24 grams, I'm not sure. And I'm going to put that in. Okay, and then just for that little bit of extra kick, I'm going to take a little bit of baking powder and I'm going to add it to mine. You don't have to add it to yours, but I'm just going to put a little half a teaspoon in, and I'm going to add that. Okay, so basically at this stage you're going to have a mixture that's just has got a lot of things added into it, and your job is to rub it through. So you've got to use your fingers and your thumb like that and make it into like fine breadcrumbs, and you just keep going to all that sugar and all that butter has mixed in with the flour. Okay, so it's going to take a few minutes to do that, so put a good tune on and go and enjoy yourself. So essentially what you're doing is you're just pushing the sugar and the butter through the flour like this, and you just keep going and keep going till it just looks like a fine breadcrumbs. My song of choice, Primal Scream, kids. Ask your parents about them. Great band. And you just keep going and keep going till it's like fine breadcrumbs. The kind that you might find on your McChicken nugget meal or your fish fingers. So you just keep going, keep going. It's quite therapeutic. You'll love it. Mine is nearly there. Fine breadcrumbs. We've got the flour into fine breadcrumbs. So it's really nice. Okay, we're going to now add the wet ingredients. So we're going to take our finger and we're going to make a little well in the middle of our dish. Looks like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add our wet ingredients. So our wet ingredients, we're going to take our milk now, 150 mils of milk. So again, measure it in a measuring jug. Now what you do is put it into the microwave and just bring up the temperature a little bit. We don't want to put cold milk in there, because if you put the cold milk into the flour, it'll be like, oh, you're far too cold. So we're going to put the milk in here, okay, and it's going to mix it together. And this is the point where I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla extract, because you know, like Mr. Brogan likes a little bit of je ne sais quoi when he's making his little scones. So I'm going to put this into the middle of the well, okay, and then I'm going to take my little bit of Madagascar vanilla. I'm just going to add a dash. All these non-standard units of measurement, children, like a pinch and a dash, a bit chefy. So there you go, just a little dash, just to sort of give it a little bit background note, okay? And then with a knife, just a normal knife, what we're going to do now is we're going to just stir it all together, okay, till we make a little dough, okay? So it'll take again a couple of minutes to do this here, but we're bringing it all together to mix a dough. So have a go with that. Again, stick another tune on. So you see there, children, make sure always to bring it in from the edges. Bring it all together. And you keep stirring it and you keep mixing it. Have a little boogie while you're doing it. Look like that. Okay, so at this point what we're going to do is we're going to then put it out onto the work surface and work it together. This is called kneading, okay? So we're going to add a little bit of flour to it, just so it stops sticking to your hands, a little bit of flour to our hands, and then we're going to knead it, just very gently. So we've got it out onto our floured surface. You might find that your dough is a little bit sticky, so just roll it about in a little bit of flour, okay? And what we're going to do is just bring it in, knead it with the back of our hand, pull it back on top of it, knead it through again, pull it back, knead it through again, fold it over, okay? Because what you're doing is you're just gently awakening the glutens in the flour, and then what you're going to have is you're going to just have a nice dough, and then what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out with a rolling pin in a little minute into about 2 centimetre thick pieces. So taking a rolling pin, again, what you might want to do with the rolling pin is slightly flour it to stop it sticking to the dough, and then we just want to roll out and back again, and then we just turn it to the side. We're going to go that way, and again to the side. So we roughly want about that. That's good. Okay, so you've got that now. If you don't have one of these, which is like a cookie cutter or something, I'm going to have to get on my knees. Right, so if you don't have one of these here, you can just use a knife, okay? But what you want to do is, and I tend to use the smooth one. If you want to make it look pretty, we can use this one. So I'll do one of each. So basically we take this and we press it in. I'll go down here so better for the camera. And we push it down gently, okay? And then we wiggle it a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we're going to pull it out and then push it through again, very gently. 1, 2, 3, out it comes, okay? So we're going to have a little scone like that. So that'll just rise now whenever I put it onto the baking tray. So I'm going to put it onto my baking tray, and basically you just repeat with as much of the dough as you can to get as many scones or scones as you can. I try and aim with that sort of amount of dough to probably get about maybe 6 good ones. Right, so the oven's just about to beat. I've cleaned this kitchen, not just clever editing, and we're going to get scones out, or the scones, and we're going to put them onto the cooling rack and we're going to allow them to cool. Now again, tap them on the way out to check that they're cooked all the way through. If you're really unsure, get a parent to put a knife down through the middle and pull it out. If there's anything stuck to that knife, it's not cooked the way through, because that'll be the raw dough in the middle. So that's a good way. If you put a knife in or a skewer and it comes out nice and clean, Bob's your uncle are done. And then you have the whole debate of, what do you put on first? Do you put the cream on, or do you put the jam on? Now, this has caused major debates across the teachers in our school. I am a cream guy first, and then you put the jam on. And I'll tell you even better than that, Miss Gillard doesn't even like jam. What's that all about? Go, children resting on the cooling rack, okay, so they've risen nicely, okay, and as we're heading into the festive season, I attempted to make a gingerbread man. It does look more like Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants though. What's that? Yeah, Boris is allowing Santa Claus to go out this week. We've got 5 days. He's got 5 days to get it done, big lad. Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I can't wait for it. Now, this is the thing, children, why we don't always get things right. Patrick lost his leg during the editing process. Anyway, it still tastes fantastic. You enjoy your scones. So children, that's the video for the scones. I really hope you enjoyed making them. It's a relatively straightforward and easy recipe, trust me, because if I can do it, you can do it. And I hope you enjoy sharing them with your family. I'll be sending out another recipe and another set of instructions next week for us to make a little couscous salad. I really am looking forward to that one. Really tasty, light, healthy way to enjoy a lunch. So I want you to all take care. We miss you, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.